To understand Fred Phelps and his hate campaign against homosexuals and their sympathizers, you need to scrutinize that which is most sacred to the family, religion. 13's Jim Doblin joins us for a look into what Phelps calls the gospel, what others might call selective interpretation. Jim?
Mary, we want to warn viewers straight up that some of this material may be offensive. But one thing is clear about Fred Phelps Sr. He may start in the mainstream, but he doesn't stay there for very long. Phelps was a civil rights attorney for many years and has since been disbarred from state and federal court. He's all but formally been booted out of the state Democratic Party, partly his fault, partly theirs. Even in the realm of religion, he was ordained a mainstream Southern Baptist, but soon broke into a fringe faction called Investigative Baptist.
If you think it's something extraordinary to pick at the funeral, to stand quietly on a public sidewalk with a Bible verse, if you think that's outlandish, what would you think if we went out to the graveyard and dug up the body of the fag that died of AIDS and burned it to ashes and scattered the ashes all over downtown Topeka?
Fred Phelps' religious beliefs are heavily influenced by French Protestant theologian John Calvin, one of the leaders of the Reformation in the 16th century. Among Calvin's doctrines, the concept of predestination. Those whom God elects are saved forever. Essentially, you're predestined to go to heaven or hell despite what you do on earth. If that's the case, are some homosexuals predestined to go to heaven? Not according to Phelps.
Look, 3 times within 8 verses in Romans chapter 1, it says God has given these people up to 3 things. He gave them up to uncleanness, to dishonor their own bodies among themselves. He gave them up to vile affections, and he gave them up to a reprobate mind. Now, if the only power in the universe that can call you to Jesus Christ has given you up, how are you going to get there?
Others who make their life's work studying the Bible point to the very next chapter of Romans that warns against judging others.
Someone could say, Phelps is disobeying, judge not that you be not judged, that Phelps has misunderstood 1 Corinthians chapter 5, which says, be concerned with the immorality only within the Christian group and not with what's on the outside. Sure, there are alternative views of biblical religion that could say Phelps is a sodomite, but that doesn't mean Phelps has to say that, or that his religious interpretation of the Bible would define him that way.
The definitions of men and women's roles in the Phelps' church and home are distinct. During services, women wear head coverings over biblically correct long hair. At home, dating was strongly discouraged. Marriages not approved meant ostracism from the church. Among the weddings disapproved, that of renegade son Mark, who lives in California, married to a divorcee, another man's wife, according to the family.
Phelps is convinced, quoting now, that he is supremely correct about the homosexual issue and his pickets at Gage Park and elsewhere. I asked him if everyone is predestined, why even bother trying to save anyone or spread the message? Phelps answered that he is doing what God demands.
What about this digging up bodies, though? Is he serious?
No. The passage during the sermon that he was likening digging up bodies was that of likening it to a desperate act of the prophet Ezekiel had to do during Babylonian times. Another member of the family told me later that the family has no intention of literally doing what Phelps described. Now, tonight at 10, why the pickets? And who's been hurt the most on the next installment of the Phelps Factor?
Thank you, Jim.